What's up, friends? My name is Kevin Basset, and today I'm going to review something that I know nothing about. I'm gonna review something that I know nothing about. So, as you might have noticed, or maybe you didn't notice, I didn't post any videos last week, and the reason being is that I was in Hawaii or Hawaii, whichever way you want to say it, I guess. I'm not an expert, not a local, so, I don't know. I wasn't really doing like a vacation. I went with my girlfriend because she has a bunch of family that lives out there, and so we were visiting with them. She hadn't seen him in a while because she isn't able to go to Hawaii all the time because it's expensive. Did the family thing for the most part. Also went to a few spots that are some of her favorites. From a strictly like vacation sense, I mean, I'm not no expert, but I didn't really get the full appeal. And maybe that's because I wasn't going in that sense 100%. But like the beaches weren't incredible in my opinion. They were good, but I'm fine going to like San Diego or Mexico for a good beach. So I wasn't blown away by that. I didn't really get to do any hardcore like snorkeling and like looking at coral reefs or turtles. So, I mean, that was kind of like a big deal. It's like, oh, you got to see the turtles here. And we never really saw any. So maybe that would have significantly changed my opinion because, I mean, turtles are special creatures, and I like turtles as much as the next guy. And I think that'd be cool, but I didn't see any. It was a long flight both ways, and we took it at night. So that was kind of an intensity for something that wasn't just like blowing my mind in a vacation sense. As far as like local and cultural, I thought it was really interesting in terms of a place that has so many things that are just really unique to it. I thought Hawaii was awesome. Like they got a bunch of different foods that are just like Hawaiian foods. Like you go there to eat those foods and you can't really get them anywhere else. And they're not the same anywhere else. Like Olive Garden, for example. I'm joking. I did go to Olive Garden though, which was weird. Weird story. But I went. They have lots of like specific kind of barbecue things they do. A lot of fruits that are only there. I think one of them was called like lychee. And then there was like different types of papayas and all these other just plants. She had a cousin who just knew a bunch about like Hawaiian botanical stuff. And basically every plant there is useful. Like it either makes clothes, can be eaten, or is like a medicine or laxative. There's one that was a laxative, which is weird. And there was one that was like a defogger, like you broke up the plant and you take little drops from it and you put it in your goggles or whatever and they don't fog up. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, that was probably like one of the more interesting parts is just going through all of the different botanical stuff. Botanical. It's a fun word to say. Plants. Yeah, there were like little fishies in a lot of different places. Apparently they have like a big problem with like invasive species that they're trying to get rid of, but like all the natural stuff to Hawaii, it's just like, that's the stuff. And then they have this cool language that they use there called Hawaiian, and I didn't speak it, but I heard people speak it a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's cool. My brother had gone to Hawaii like so many years ago, 10 years ago, give or take. And he was talking about how like everyone said mahalo to him there. And I rarely ever heard the word mahalo. People just said thank you. I was also hanging out with like predominantly Asian people. So that could have changed it. But I think they just say thank you there. They also have like this different version of English that's called Pidgin English. They don't speak it, they talk it. And it was kind of interesting from a linguistic sense. As far as people go, like Hawaii is interesting. And their history is really interesting. Like talking to Brittany, my girlfriend's grandma, it was like, whoa, like some crazy crap went down here. from Pearl Harbor to crazy white people on plantations, just like abusing their power to extreme extents. All just wild stuff. So it made me understand a little bit why they have like a little bit of dislike for white people there. It's not like hardcore, but there's a little bit of just like distaste. A lot of Asians. It's like mostly Asians that live there, which I wouldn't have guessed. And a lot of like biracial people too, or like multiracial, multi-ethnic. I don't know, but ethnically super interesting. Vacation wise, yeah, it's all right. I mean, I can go to California, so I wasn't expecting much, and I wasn't blown away. But in terms of culture, I think I was really satisfied. It's a cool place in terms of that. If I was gonna give it a review, I would give it a 5. Hope you've enjoyed this video about Hawaii, and I review things I don't know about every week, unless I happen to be on vacation, I guess. I'll try to not have missed weeks in the future. I just didn't prepare well enough. Tuesdays, reviews on things I don't know anything about, and now Fridays we do music reviews. And my last music review did weirdly well. I don't know why. And I hope that continues, because that was a fun little trend. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell. Comment on this video, like any thoughts you had, experiences in Hawaii, stuff you liked about the culture. Share this with your friends and family and loved ones, especially those thinking about going to Hawaii. It's like cheap right now comparatively. So I think it's a good idea. And yeah, catch you on the flip. If you go to Hawaii, make sure to bring the right sunscreen, because most of the sunscreen's illegal there, because it harms the ocean reef.